Good afternoon, happy day 17. So today's video is going to be around keeping stats. So I'd probably say 50% of my pupils keep stats on their game. I'm always trying to encourage everybody to do it, and some people go in and out of it. So this is a bit of a sell for you to think about when you get back out on that golf course. When the season starts again, let's keep some stats on your game. So the two softwares I tend to use for people will be Golf Data Lab and ShotScope, and I'm going to run you through both of those. So what are the benefits of keeping stats? Well, the benefits of keeping stats are they highlight what you're good at. Okay, if you understand what you're good at, that gives you a lot of self-belief in going forward. So if you're a good driver of the ball, for example, and got a few holes to play, and you're in a competition or in a match play event, and you're winning, and you've got to hit those last two fairways, and give you that belief that you're a good driver. So it helps install positive beliefs that you're good at a particular skill. The second thing that it does, it helps highlight the area's opportunity. So if there's a score that you're trying to shoot, it starts to give you the ideas around where are the areas that are going to give us the biggest return on your investment in your practice and in your coaching. It obviously gives you a great view of what your opportunities are. And the third reason for me as well is it helps create games within games. So rather than thinking about the total score, which sometimes can seem quite daunting, you can break it down to trying to achieve more performance goals, like I'm just going to try and hit a certain number of greens today, or I'm going to hit a certain number of fairways. It helps break it down into games within games, makes golf seem a bit more manageable rather than thinking of 18 holes and a total score at the end. So really lots of benefits. And the overall really is you just get to understand your game more. You get to understand your blueprint and what makes it work. And stats has always been something that the pros have always done, but with so many now applications and softwares available, we're starting to really see how different areas of golfers play. So if you're a 10 handicap and you want to become a 5 handicapper, we have good data now on how do 5 handicappers generally play compared to a 10 handicapper. If you're a 20 handicapper wanting to be a 15 handicapper, again, we can see these differences. There will always be outliers. You'll obviously get someone that's an amazing driver of the ball that probably drives it like a 5 handicapper, but then actually putts and chips like a 20 handicapper. And as a result, they're a 12 handicapper. So you're always going to get very much outliers. But generally speaking, we're sort of starting to understand how each golfer plays and which each category of golfer plays into what standards. So it's a really useful information to have. So the two softwares I tend to use are Golf Data Lab. Golf Data Lab probably a little bit more complex. I'd probably say really geared towards a serious golfer, potentially the more performance golfer. It gives you great detail in terms of your score averages for the year, how you're performing certain holes, so what's your par 3 average, par 4, par 5 averages. This is your home screen really, it gives you your scores through the year. And then it starts to give me as a coach, when I'm looking at it, highlights how they perform in particular areas. Are they performing maybe as they should for the level that they're actually at? And you can have a look here, we get to see some driving stats. You get to see how good they are with particular irons, so long irons to short irons. Their greens in regulations, their short game statistics, how close they put the ball, and then their putting. What GDL also does, it gives you a putt gain measurement. So those that are familiar with Sky Sports, it gives you a measurement, again, how effective you are as a putter from any particular distance against the PGA Tour Pro. So a really good in-depth way of looking at your game. You input it after your round, and then if anything flags up here for me, then I can go into it in a bit more detail. So if I want to look at someone putting in a bit more detail, I could then jump in and really analyze where someone's at. So a fantastic tool. Using a bit of technology inside, my preference then is lots out there, but ShotScope is the preference that I'll use for someone. This is one where you wear a watch. It's also a GPS device as well. And this gives you the classic. It tells you how you're performing with each club, so distances. It tells you tee shot performance, approach shot performances, short game performance, and putting performance. So really all the pillars of the game that you need to understand. And it does it all for you. It just uploads it after the round. So again, I can just jump in and have a look at how someone's performing and where are the areas that we can then really emphasize and sort of clarify of strength, but where are the areas then of opportunity for somebody as well. So think about when you go into the season going forward or next year when we're out of lockdown, I'd definitely encourage, if you're serious about your golf and you want to improve, then keeping some measurements on your game. If you don't want to commit to any sort of software, I think as a minimum, as a golfer, you want to understand how many greens in regulation you're hitting. That's definitely a correlation to standards. So the more greens that you hit, the chances are you're going to be a better golfer, because it shows that you're hitting tee shots in play enough of the time and long enough to be able to hit the green. It shows you're competent with an iron in your hand, not only for your approach shot, but also on your par threes. So that would be a bare minimum that I'd ask someone to keep, is the greens in regulation. And then in terms of putting stats, that would be the next one, is number of putts. So number of putts can tell us how close you're hitting the ball. So if you're having a high number of putts, chances are you're always so far away from the hole, whether that's short game or approach play. And also your efficiency or your percentages within 10 feet and in. So, out of every putt that you had within 10 feet, what's your conversion rates? And that gives us an idea around your effectiveness as a putter. So as a bare minimum, if you can't commit to stats, greens in reg, and then number of putts and efficiency within 10 feet. But my recommendation, get yourself on some sort of stat software. It helps you understand your game more, helps you give you strengths, looks for your opportunities, and from a coaching point of view, it's fantastic. We're really going to hit the areas that are going to make the biggest difference to your score. Have a great day and enjoy the Easter weekend.